all about Jersey. And I'm so excited about the race that's going on there. Everything that's in the race. There's a lot of action. There's a lot afoot. There's a lot going on. And someone who knows a little bit about the chase, if you will, is Cliff Maloney. Cliff Maloney.
We always saw this.
We have you there.
We did.
I'm here, baby. We are ready to chase balance
I'm
in
about to
Jersey.
Jack from Sylvia.
And I'm just going to tell you this.
Okay, we didn't see
You
this.
got your South Jersey hat on there, Cliff. Well, it's funny. I told Andrew Colvin, I said, oh, why did I choose New Jersey? Because in half the state, I could still wear my Eagles green. But now, Jack, happy to announce on your show, PA Chase.
Okay.
What? No. No! Don't say it.
And what are you messing with?
Embarrassing me. I'm just watching this.
The cat was scratching something.
No. Stop embarrassing me. I have sensitivity to that. Mom, I have autism. Okay? When is the government shutdown ever going to stop? That's what I want to know.
Walk us through how many, and by the way, of course, we got the tweet up here, very excited to announce, K-Bay.
You're not answering me.
Just put up the tweet, just pretty much as we were going on the air here.
Everyone's quiet. Why? When does the government shutdown be over with?
At the huge rally that's going on.
When are they passing and vote? They said the other today. This evening, so I think they do it in the evening.
I hope there'll be right people on there. Will there be?
Security Cliff, I want to say thank you for working to set up this event.
Well, it doesn't change. The people don't change. They were voted in and they usually serve for 6-year terms.
And I think with all the energy that has been built up over the last couple of weeks, I really feel something about New Jersey. I would not be coming all the way up there, or all the way over there, I should say, otherwise. Yeah, look, Jack, I'll give you credit. I mean, you were one of the people that said, look, we need a fight. You know, after Charlie's murder, I mean, we were all kind of thinking, well, you know, do we dive in here? Where do we take the energy of trying to do the work, as Charlie would say? And I think New Jersey is the play, right? To take the PA is the play from your wordsmithing. New Jersey is the battle right now. We've got this great event in Wildwood, Virginia County. I mean, I'm thinking that this is going to be something that's going to not only set us up for success now, but this is the type of energy that we can build leading into the 2026 midterms. Right now, it's a dead heat. And all we have to do is, one, match the turnout on Election Day from 2021 when Jack lost to Murphy. But two, and this is the most important, you got people like Presto registering, you got people like the NJ Chase. We're in here chasing these ballots. We have to compete when it comes to mail-in ballots. Getting the low propensity voters, the folks that aren't going to vote, but if they do vote, they're going to vote Republican. That's the name of the game. We compete mail-in votes in New Jersey, we can win the governor's mansion. Look, NJ is the play. NJ is the play. And it's all about this. You saw the poll citing. That is not normal. Not for New Jersey in a year like this. Chris Christie won, and not to get into Chris Christie, but you look at the dynamics of that. Chris Christie won in an economic downturn year where they were going from Democrat to Democrat was turned out, and so they were looking at something Barack Obama had just won in 2008. Then the flip of that is Chris Christie coming in and he won to swing the entire state in 2009. What are we seeing now? The Democrats have absolutely run New Jersey. What was once the beautiful Garden State, Cliff, is now run into the dirt. And I'm just going to say, you know, for everybody, I already asked you this question and I already know the answer. Cliff, where did you go in this other?
You're complaining about being cold because you're wet. You didn't want to take a shower. That makes you even more wet.
Yeah, warm shower. Dry clothes.
So I did a lot of time in Cape May. Of course, you go to Cape May, for Ocean City.
Mom, I want you to be quiet and pay attention.
From time to time, by the way, I can actually say that I think it was 92 or 93, we actually stayed at the Trump Taj Mahal, so I've actually stayed
back when they still had the Trump Taj Mahal, and Wildwood, right? You go Wildwood, you go to Sea Isle, Great Thieves, Avalon. These are the cities, the towns that pretty much all of Philadelphia would go to in the summertime, and just so many great stories of growing up. My dad, by the way, you'll love this. My dad used to tell me the story that my dad, my grandma used to have a house. I want to say it was in Ocean City or Wildwood, one of the two. I can't remember off the top of my head. Ask him about this. So she used to have like a beach house down there, sold it in the '60s, right before all the property values went up. Sold it for a song. Sold it for nothing. That property now is like millions upon millions of dollars. And they used to, I'm like, we had a house down the shore. We had a house down the shore, man. But it's a spot that I think it's close to a lot of our hearts. For people who are from the Philly area, even though of course we have our little sibling rivalry with New Jersey. But when it comes down to it, we do actually want the best for them, despite some of the other comments we made along the way.
I have to tone down my anti-Jersey rhetoric. Well, look, Jack, one thing I'll tell everybody that's fascinating looking at the rules between Pennsylvania and Jersey. In PA, we have vote by mail, and then we have election day. Yes, you can do your on-demand vote by mail ballot and go to your county office, but we don't have technically early voting. New Jersey does, and this is where Republicans compete strongly. And so that's another advantage, not just of the polls closing, not just as Mikey Sherrill proving to be one of the worst candidates in New Jersey history, probably nationally, with some of her missteps over the past couple weeks, but there's early voting. So when I'm at the door and our door knockers are talking to voters in New Jersey, it's not just vote by mail. If they object to that, you say, fine, let's set a date for you to go and vote early. We compete in vote by mail, and we continue to compete in early voting, and I think we've got a great shot at flipping the governor's mansion, with us knocking those 500,000 doors in New Jersey.
So 500,000. So now this is going to be a bit of a shootout for you guys because look at it. I think we're less than 1 month away. So we're just under 1 month away from the election. Cliff, they say it can't be done. How are you going to do it?
They said that in 24. I was on your show listening to the Democrats all saying that Republicans had no idea what they were doing with the ground game, whether it was Arizona and Wisconsin with Charlie and Turning Point, whether it was me and you right here in Pennsylvania. The reality is we're going to go as hard as we can. We've got Airbnbs across New Jersey. Folks can go to njchase.org. You want to sponsor a ballot chaser. We've already got the shirts. We've been pounding on doors. But this is what it takes. And Jack, the biggest difference in New Jersey, the left is not used to having competent operatives on the right. They're used to just focusing on the big Karl Rove TV ads, phoning it in. You can see them starting to spin things up now, which is fine. Competition is good. But we will get to those 500,000 doors, take it to the bank of saying it right here on Human Events Daily, with Poso as my witness. We will knock 500,000 doors in New Jersey, and we will make this race as competitive as we possibly can to try to win for Jack Ciattarelli.
And that's what it's all about. You've got this, and I want to get in. We got an next segment coming up, but this candidate. I mean, she's awful. She's actually awful. She is the Kamala Harris of New Jersey. You've got an actual, I would say, once in a lifetime chance to actually get a serious, good governor, a true son of New Jersey, by the way, in Jack Ciattarelli, to be able to actually get him there and to knock off somebody. This Nikki Sherrill. I mean, she's from Virginia, right? She cheated in the Naval Academy, and look, people say, oh, what about the '94? And she was just trying to protect listen, release the records then. Release the records. If you've got nothing to hide, then show us you've got nothing to hide. If you have nothing there, if there's nothing to find, then great. Go ahead and release the records. Why don't you? Why are they sealed? Why does she have that under a seal if she has nothing to worry about her Naval Academy time? It's really as simple as that. And by the way, I don't usually talk about it from this perspective, but every single time anyone is asked to see my records from the Navy, and they'll say, oh, well, Sobek, he said he did this and he said he did that, and we don't believe him. I just send him copies of my evals. I send him copies of my fit reps, and I'm like, there you go. That's the write-up. You can see there's my grade, Here's what I deployed to. This is what I did. This is what they said. This is what they said. And the afterward, after it, it's really as simple as that. And I've been happy to do that. I've even posted them on X in the past. Gitmo, whatever. Yeah, here it is. Go for it. Accuse me of stolen valor. But she won't even release the records. Why is that? We'll be right back. Cliff Maloney, Real America's Voice, Human Events Daily.
I just caught a scammer stealing money from an elderly shopper at Costco. The scary part? He didn't even come near him. He used a new hacking device that scans credit cards from up to 30 feet away. Please watch this video if you aren't aware of this new scam in 2025. Dear Facebook friends, last Tuesday started like any other Costco trip until I noticed something strange. This man dressed in all black was wandering through the store. He never picked up a single item. Instead, he kept glancing at a small device in his palm, smirking every few seconds. It looked really suspicious, so I notified the employees to call the police. Luckily, they were able to catch him before he could escape. The police chief thanked me for being proactive, and what he told me next shocked me to my core. He revealed that the scammer had stolen the banking information of 12 shoppers, including 3 elderly couples who lost their entire retirement savings, all while their credit cards were safely tucked in their wallets. But here's the truly terrifying part. This wasn't some master hacker or cyber criminal. It was a college dropout using a $20 device he bought online that can silently scan every credit card within 30 feet, right through purses, pockets, and wallets. The police are calling it invisible pickpocketing because you'll never see it coming until your bank accounts are drained. Urgent warning from law enforcement. This is unlike anything we've seen before. In the last month alone, over 200,000 Americans have had their accounts wiped clean by these digital pickpockets. What makes this so dangerous is that anyone can now use these hacking devices to steal money from innocent people, even if they have zero technical knowledge. This new hacking device has become so advanced that traditional protection methods like wrapping cards in aluminum foil or old-fashioned RFID wallets are no longer effective. It's like trying to stop a tank with a traffic cone. However, there is one solution that's been proven to work. It was developed by former NASA cybersecurity expert James Chen. After scammers stole $70,000 from his own mother's retirement account. It's called the Safeguard Card, and it's the only device that creates an AI-powered force field that makes your cards invisible to these new scanning devices. How? Its patented SafeShield technology generates a 6-foot protection bubble that automatically detects and blocks unauthorized scanning attempts. Just slip it in your wallet like a regular credit card, and every card you own is instantly protected. I immediately ordered a 6-pack for my entire family. I put them in my wallet and carry it everywhere I go because you never know where these scammers are going to be. They lurk around Walmarts, grocery stores, shopping malls, hunting for people to steal from. These scammers operate in busy areas. I am warning you guys to be careful when carrying your wallet or purse in public. I personally know someone who had all their money and identity stolen. That's why I'm telling everyone to get a Safeguard Card, as it's the best way to prevent this terrifying and stressful scam. It's been amazing, and now I can go around with the peace of mind that my money is secure. So I definitely recommend you invest in a Safeguard Card. It is a small price compared to all the money you could potentially lose. Due to the global chip shortage, only 396 Safeguard Cards remain in stock, and they won't be able to produce more until late 2025. The company is offering a 54% discount for the next 24 hours only. These crimes are only increasing this year, and with seniors being the most vulnerable targets, I expect these final units to sell out within hours. Don't wait until it's too late.
Jack is a great guy. He's fantastic. Look, everybody's talking about it. Go get it. And he's been my friend right from the beginning of this whole beautiful event. And we're going to turn it around and make our country great again. Amen.
Jack Posobiec, we're back here live, Human Events Daily. We're on with Cliff Maloney. The PA Chase is now becoming the NJ Chase. Oh yeah, we're going down the shore. We're going down the shore. As we said, if you guys don't know, the phrasing, the phraseology, we'll get you in there. We're going down the shore. So we're going down a Wildwood. I call my mama. By the way, I was not at Trump's big Wildwood rally, just schedule and all that. But I was at the original Trump rally in Wildwood, the one where we had 1,000 people sleeping out overnight in 2020 in freezing cold January weather, and nobody cared because we're all fun to be down at boardwalk down the shore, and just an amazing time. So Gallagher, I was down in Wildwood once, the old comedian Gallagher, I love that guy, all-time favorite. But Cliff, when we're looking at it, tell me how you size up the race, because you're a political analyst, as as much as any. I'll be there on Friday night, you'll be there on Friday night. Size up this race for me, because you're putting a lot on the line here.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's polling that has is a dead heat. You can look at some polls that have it much more spread out. But if you compare, this is to me is one of the best comparisons. If you look at Biden versus Trump in Pennsylvania, and you look at Jack versus Murphy back in 2021, it's pretty wild the percentage of the share of the mail-in vote that each of them got. And so I'm not here to announce that 50% of the mail-in in Jersey. We're still looking at the numbers before we go public with where we need to be. But really, if Jack competes at the same level on early voting and on election day voting as he did in 2021, we just have to increase his share of mail-in by about 10 percentage points, maybe even fewer. And so I just look at everything's coming his way. Registration is coming Jack's way. Right? You look at the fact that Trump lost by double digits in 2020, and in 2024 he lost by just under 6 points. So when you look at all of the different metrics that you can use, and then you add in what you just said in the last segment, Jack, which is all of the missteps she's making. I mean, she is Kamala Harris in the sense that the more time that Mikey Sherrill spends in the public eye, the more time that people get to know who she truly is, the more time that people get to analyze and see her speak, and her authenticity, the more votes that go to Jack Ciattarelli. That's the beautiful thing about, you always want to be in the position where the momentum is with you. We dealt with this in PA in 2024. That yeah, we were behind, but we were fighting and we had the momentum. That's where Jack Ciattarelli is right now at this moment, and we just have to finish strong.
It's really simple. You take what you see in the polls, you take those numbers, but then this is what the PHAs and now the NJHAs was always about. This is what 2024 was about. This is what Charlie was all about. And I remember being with Charlie on election night in 2022, where Charlie said, we got to start banking ballots. We got to start banking ballots, and we have to start doing this now. The Democrats are doing it. They changed the way we run elections. We're thinking about it all wrong. It's not votes anymore, right? And that's what I love, by the way. Cliff, you and I could have, I'm sure, a long digression about that, because we don't vote for candidates anymore. We collect ballots for candidates now. Well, starting we change this.
And as I say, look, you don't have election day, which is what you and me grew up with, right? You don't have election day. You don't have election week. You don't even have election month, right? We're talking 50 days of voting. And so you're right. People aren't even looking at the names on the ballot, because the whole strategy is go to people that are Republican on our side. Go to those Republicans that are not likely to vote and just get them a ballot. There's 70%, 7 out of 10 of the people that are low propensity that got a ballot voted. Meaning, instead of being low propensity, guess what? Now they're a regular voter. And so I just tell everybody that you have to rethink. It's not about the perfect TV message going into the election day. These are months-long campaigns, and you're right, you're banking the votes. And once again, for all the critics out there that hate mail-in ballots, I do too. But what I'm doing is I'm not taking election day voters and making them vote by mail. I'm taking voters that are not likely to show up on election day, and I'm making them much more likely because we get a ballot sent to their house and they're going to vote. That's the whole strategy. NJ is the play. I'm writing that down, Jack.
NJ is the play. We're going down. I don't know. We might have to go down. I think I remember the last time I was down the boardwalk, because I grew up with Mac and Manco's down the boardwalk, Mac and Manco's Pizza. But I think they split up now or something. And Mac and Manco's, I don't think got divorced or whatever it is, but it's not Mac and Manco's. We used to joke, by the way, that we were going to open like a Porkalease franchise up down on the boardwalk. But we were saying we'll get the pizzas, tomato pies in Norristown, and then drive them down the boardwalk. We'll go at like 4 in the morning to get the fresh ones. Nobody's going to have this. That was going to be our side hustle, because that's what we used to always do when we had parties or something down there. I said, we could turn this into a business and collect a little profit on the side, get a little walking around money, as they used to say in Philly. But you look at all this. You look at all the political wins. You look at the fact that Trump was able to turn, and I've shown. I don't know if we have the graphic because I didn't call for it earlier, but when we go to the county map, when you go and look at the county shift map of New Jersey, it's in 2024, every single county of the state blue shift. Now, I understand, look, the left is going to be energized to come out because they see ICE, they watch MSNBC, they watch all this stuff, they get it. But when you look at that county shift map, it's nothing but red. It's literally nothing but red. And so you've got a real opportunity here that I think is potentially once in a lifetime, maybe